Welcome back, friends. We are going to learn refunds under the GST. Now, what is the refund? What do you mean by this GST refund? Under GST, the process of claiming a refund is standardized to avoid confusion. Now, in the refund part, we have so much confusion, like on what type of transaction will you get the refund, on what type of returns you will get the refund, what are the documents required, and what are the situations under which refund can be processed. All those are standardized, okay, and the process is online, which is completely online. You need not worry about anything, you need not submit any physical document, and also have time limits. Now, when can the refund be claimed? There are many such cases where refund can be claimed, right? In the next slide, we are going to learn the situations where refund can be raised, okay, or can be claimed, you can say. Here are some examples. The dealer exports, including deemed exports, goods or services under claim of rebate or refund. You know that, friends, refund is like, government is giving you back the money which you have paid excessively to the government, right? You also know that there is something called as zero rated supply. If you are exporting goods, zero rate is applicable. If you are giving the goods, if you are supplying goods to SEZ unit or SEZ developer, that is also called as zero rated supply. Now, what do you mean by this zero rated supply? Your output tax liability will be zero actually, right? Now, whatever taxes you are paying it to the government, then automatically government will give you back all that amount 100%, right? This is called zero rated supply for exports, right? And second example is ITC accumulation due to output being output exempt or nil rated. See, you have paid while purchasing the taxes. I repeat, you have paid the taxes while purchasing the inputs, right? Now, while purchasing the inputs, you have paid taxes, but your output supply is nil rated or zero rated, or it is exempted from the taxes. Because your output is zero and you have paid already taxes to the government, you are eligible for a refund. Now, government will give you back your amount whatever you have paid to the government. Now, refund of tax, the third point, the refund of tax paid on purchases made by the embassies or UN bodies. All be that embassy or UN body, they are working for no profit cause, and government recognizes such transactions as completely schedule 3 transactions or negative listed, on which GST is not applicable. If you are paying GST already, if you are supplying the goods to such bodies, then you are eligible for refund. Next point, tax refund for international tourists. You know that international tourists, when they come here and if they are supplying any goods and services, then of course GST, IGST they have to pay. IGST they have to file the returns, NRTP, a non-resident taxable person, but refund is applicable for those people. And then finalization of provisional assessment. If a provisional assessment says that you have paid excessive tax, you will get the refund. Now, these are the situations that needs that are necessary for the refund process. What do you mean by this? First and foremost thing I should tell you, friends, that this is a very important slide. I request you to pause this video, record all this, I mean to say write all these things, and please by heart those things if you can remember, that is well and good, right? Because this question was asked many times for 5 marks, many times means for the previous 2 years it was asked for 5 marks, and this is very important question. Now, these are the situations where refund can be claimed, where necessary for refund can be raised. Now, what are those situations? Export of goods or services and supplies to SEZ units and developer, that is what I have told you. The first point is for zero rated supply. Second point is deemed to be exports, right? That is also zero rated supply. And then I will go for the next point, because I have explained you zero rated supply. You are going to get the refund on it, right? Then refund of wrongly collected or paid taxes. Now, collected or paid taxes means what? TCS or TDS, you might have heard about this. TDS is tax deducted at source. TCS is tax collected at source. So, if you have wrongly collected the taxes under TDS or TCS, then you are eligible for refund. Right, because you are wrongly doing, you have done wrongly, now you are claiming it from the government. Sir, I have paid you wrongly taxes, please give me back my money. Government will give you definitely. Refund to UN or and any other notified agencies, that is what we have seen in the previous slide also. Refund arising on account of order of appellate authority or court. If the court says, if the matter has went into the court and if the court says yes, government must give back all the taxes that he has paid or certain part of the taxes that he has paid, then upon the government's order, that is, I am to say upon the court's order or upon the appellate authority's order, government has to pay you back the money in the form of refunds. And then refund of accumulated ITC on account of inverted duty structure. Inverted duty structure means what? See, normally what happens is output tax will be higher than input tax, and that is where output minus input will give you positive figure, which is the amount that you are paying to the government. What do you mean by GST tax liability? In physical classes we have discussed it many times. GST tax liability will be equal to output tax minus input tax. So output tax, if output tax is less than input tax, then we call it as inverted duty structure. Inverted duty structure means sales tax is less than input tax, that is purchase tax. Hope you are understanding. That is inverted duty structure. On these accounts also you are going to get the refund, okay? And then refund of tax paid on provisional basis. We have discussed this in the previous slide. Provisional basis. On the provisional basis you have paid excess amount and now you are claiming the excess amount back to you. Government has to pay to you. Government will pay you definitely, because government wants you to pay the taxes. If you are paying excess, government says fine, do you want to settle it for the next tax period or do you want me to give you 100%? If you want me, I am to say the government to give you 100%, government will do that. And then refund of IGST to international tourists, we have discussed this. Refund of excess payment of tax due to mistake or inadvertence. Inadvertence means due to some mistake or due to the existing tax rates you have paid the taxes, but upon the notification of the government your tax rate has come down. Then what happens? Then refund can be generated, because you have already paid to the government due to the circular that the government has given to you. According to that circular, the tax rate is reduced from the previous month only, right? It means that in the previous month you have paid higher taxes. Now actually you have to pay lesser taxes according to the present circular. Example, right? So due to mistake or inadvertence, if you have paid excess taxes, government will give you back. You need not worry. And then refund of taxes paid on advances given via issuance of refund vouchers. Government has given you refund vouchers, then, or if the government has given you advances, then you are going to get the refund. Then these are the situations where refund can be claimed from the government, from the GST department, okay? How to calculate refund then? How to calculate refund? You see, excess payment will be refunded. This is what you have to understand. Say, for example, GST to be paid is 15,000. You have to pay 15,000, but while paying due to a mistake, due to any cause, you have paid 25,000 rupees. So that 10,000 extra rupee will be given back to you. See, this is very easy to understand. If I am going very much technical, I will give you one simple example, you will understand. Like you want to purchase a notebook. Let us say you want to purchase a new notebook. You go to the bookseller and ask him to give you a book. What is the price? Price is 40 rupees. Now you check out your wallet and you take up the 50 rupees note. You take up 50 rupee and give to that person. You take the book, and that person, the seller, has to give you 10 rupee back to you, because you have given excess amount, that is 10 rupee excess you had given. Now that bookseller will give you 10 rupee back to you. This is simple understanding. This refund will also work on the same principle. you will get that excess amount that you have paid back to you, right? Government has given you option, do you want to settle this amount for the next tax period? If yes, then that is well and good, government will not give you any money this time, but next time while you are paying, you are paying that less amount because it is considered as advance tax paid. Hope you are understanding, right? Then time limit is 2 years from the date of payment. Now, if you have paid say 1 lakh rupee extra to the government, then you have 2 years time. You have 2 years time. Government will give you back all that 1 lakh rupee back to you, right? 1 lakh rupee. If your amount of refund is more than 1,000 rupee, government will give you back. If the amount is less than 1,000 rupees, no, government will not take care of those small amount. The refund application has to be made in the form RFD 01, that is refund form 01. Within 2 years from the relevant date, whatever is the date, right? The form should be also certified by the chartered accountant. This is compulsory. Chartered accountant must countersign your form, right? And then the GST refund process, how it works. Look at this point. An application form to claim a RFD, that is GSTN portal, you have to make an application, and then the acknowledgement number will be given to the applicant. Acknowledgement number, ARN number, we call it as ARN number, will be given by means of SMS or email when the application is filed electronically, by SMS or on email or on both. You will get one identification number. That number will be used for the process. The changes will be made to return and cash ledger and decrease the carry forward input tax credit automatically. So this point, what this point says, if government wants to give you back that money, it will be automatically adjusted with your input tax credit. Sir, did you if you are not understanding, please listen. Let us suppose you have 500 rupees input tax credit. It means government is giving you back this input tax credit. What do you mean by input tax credit? Government is setting it off whatever taxes you are paying, right? So if you have 500 rupees already in ITC, if your refund is for 200 rupees, let us say for example, okay, if your refund is for 200 rupees, then this 200 will be added to 500, and now you have ITC of 700 rupees. Hope you are understanding. Now this is how the refund works in the GSTN portal. Automatically carry forward input tax credit automatically, right? Then the refund application and relevant documents presented must be scrutinized. Who will do this? The department will do by its own, and adhered accordingly within the period of 30 days of filing a refund application. Within 30 days, the department will work. What happens next? The issuance of unjust enrichment will be analyzed for each refund application. In the case of non-qualification, the refund would be transferred to CWF. What do you mean by this? CWF? Consumer Welfare Fund. What do you mean by this point? See, unjust enrichment, what do you mean by this? You are the assessee. I repeat, a simple example. You are the assessee and you are filing a refund form because you think that you have paid excess amount to the government. You think it. Now government will again assess it, scrutinize it at government's level, department's level. And if government finds that, if the department, GST department finds that you are mistakenly expecting amount from the government, it is your mistake. You have paid the taxes correctly, but now you are finding that you have paid already the higher amount. Now there is a problem. The government says, don't worry, we will not hold you responsible. We will just consider that amount, and that amount will be given to Consumer Welfare Fund. That is the another department, that is the another box where government is accumulating that money, Consumer Welfare Fund, which will be utilized again for the development of GSTN, that is GST network, right? And then the next point, if a refund amount stated crosses the predetermined amount of refund, then the file will through the predetermined process for sanctioning the refund. What do you mean by this? If the refund amount stated crosses the predetermined amount, there will be a predetermined amount. What do you mean by this? Government says, see, there is a taxpayer and he is paying, let us say 5,000 rupees taxes every month. Let us say 5,000 rupee taxes every month. How much refund he is claiming? If the record is seen, government says that 2,000 rupee on an average the person takes a refund. Now, if the person, if the assessee once at a time, if he files for 10,000 rupee refund, then which is obviously more than this 2,000 rupees, and therefore government says that that extra 8,000 rupees will be given for the pre-audit process, and then it will be sanctioned by the government department only, right? It is completely online structure. You need not worry again. You have to only file your refund forms. Right? Refund will be credited electronically on the account of the applicant directly via ECS or RTGS or NEFT, right? Directly in the bank account that amount will come, right? If in case the applicant does not want that money into the input tax credit ledger, right? ITC ledger, which is that ledger? Electronic credit ledger. Right? If you do not want, I repeat this point because this is really again very important for understanding. If the applicant does not want refund amount to be automatically adjusted with the electronic credit ledger, it can come back to electronic cash ledger. It means it can come back to your bank account. This option will be given to the applicant only. Applicant has to tick mark on that form. The application for refund can be made after every quarter. Every month you need not file for the refund. Every quarter means thrice in a year you have to apply for the refund. And the last point, an amount less than 1,000 is not eligible for the refund. Sir, मेरे 25 रुपये ज़्यादा दिए गवर्नमेंट को, मैं 25 रुपये वापस ले लूँगा रिफंड करके. गवर्नमेंट सेज हम क्या खाली बैठे हैं? Government says, I cannot give you those 25 rupees. Do not worry. If the amount is more than 1,000, you come to me. I will refund you all that money. But if the amount is less than 1,000 rupees, I need not give you back to you. Right? Next point. Delay in refund process. Delay in refund process means if the government is delaying to give you refund amount, if the government itself is not giving you within that time limit, 2 years time limit, then 6% interest will be given on that amount per year, 6% per annum. As of now, refund process will be done within the 7 days. Our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said this within the 7 days in last year only, in 2019. Last year only, she said within the 7 days only refund process will be generated. However, it can go for more than 2 weeks. Then if it is going for more than 2 weeks, then the refund will be provided along with the interest. Interest, what is the rate? 6% interest. Now with effect from 26/9/2019, from last year September, refund procedure is fully electronic. That is what I was telling you. All steps of submission and processing in regard of refund shall be undertaken electronically. Right? This is all about the refund. Very easy to understand, very easy to remember, right? GST RFD 01 is the refund form. There are some quick questions. With these quick questions you will understand what the refund is all about. What in case if the taxpayer misses invoice bill in a month, and can he add that invoice bill in the next month? The answer is yes. He can add that invoice in the next month and he can claim the refund. As I have told you, this refund application can be made every quarter also, right? GSTR 2 and GSTR 3 is required to claim the refunds. If you have seen my previous video on payment process of GST, my dear friends, GSTR 2 and GSTR 3 are suspended, and therefore you have to file GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B, which is very much necessary, right? GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B, if you have filed, then you can claim for refunds. Again, the same question, is the taxpayer eligible to claim refunds under IGST paid on the exports of the goods if he has filed GSTR 3B? See, be that IGST, be that CGST, SGST or UTGST or whatever it is, see, you have to file GSTR1 and GSTR3B. Right, GSTR1, there is something called as table 6A. You have to file those for exports, and you will get all that amount back to you. So what will you understand? The basic idea is GSTR1, GSTR3B are very much important to claim the refunds. Also, if you do not file this GSTR1 and GSTR3B monthly, you are supposed to pay the fine, and fine is 100 rupee per act. Like CGST and SGST, if 2 you are paying, then 100 per act means 200 rupees you are paying back to the government. That is the fine. Through electronic cash ledger you have to pay. Right, this is all about refund process, friends. Refund process is finished. Your unit number 5 gets finished according to Rani Chennamma University syllabus. Right, if you have any queries, questions, you can comment in the comment box, and see you in the next video. If possible, I will make on your queries. Right, I expect your queries. If no queries, then that is well and good. Thanks for watching these videos, and this practically this should be the last video for your GST syllabus. Right, I hope you are doing well, and I also hope that your exams go good. Right, thank you. Until then, stay healthy, stay fit, stay safe. Right, thank you.